Hey and welcome. My name is Sabrina and this is Stylish and Sustainable. If this is your first time here, at Stylish and Sustainable we talk about how to live sustainably as a modern woman and all of the wonderful victories and hilarious struggles that entails. This week we're going to be talking about thrifting. Last week, we had a fantastic interview with Julia Landry from A Curated Thrift, and that kind of got me thinking about thrifting and about how thrifting can be really intimidating for people. It was definitely really intimidating for me when I first started buying used clothes at the thrift store. So if you want to learn how to thrift, today's episode is perfect for you. So there's a couple steps that it takes to thrift in a stress-free way. But before we dive into those steps, I just want to kind of set the foundation of where I'm coming from with my journey in thrifting. Several years ago, if you had asked me if I wanted to go to a thrift store with you, I would have said, hell no. I cannot stand thrift stores. They give me the worst anxiety and they smell weird. That's definitely probably what I would have said. But over the last several years, I have grown to appreciate thrift stores for a couple different reasons. First of all, thrift stores are literally the best way ever invented to save money. When I first moved out of high school and Cooper and I, my fiance and I, moved in together, we moved across the country to Minnesota from Washington where we were living at the time. And we just didn't have the money to totally outfit our apartment with the stuff that we needed. So lo and behold, in order to save money, I found myself walking through the doors of a thrift store. I can't remember. I think it might have been like a local Seroptimist first, and then it became Goodwill. And pretty rapidly, I began to see some of the virtues of thrifting and that it really went beyond my pocketbook. Because even at that point, before I had dived headfirst kind of into the whole idea of living sustainably, I quickly recognized how exciting it was to give items a new life instead of buying new, and the different experience it is to take something that someone else has been like, this is just clutter for me, I don't want it anymore, and turn it into something that is really exciting and has a history. And the other thing that I really loved about thrifting is, especially in furniture and pieces like that, is that it's not as likely that you'll walk into someone else's home and see the same item. It's not like a Pottery Barn couch or a side table that always makes me think of that Friends episode where, it's like, oh no, it's the same apothecary table that Ross and Rachel buy. Sorry, Friends nerd alert. But you actually get a situation where it's very unique and nobody else actually does have that. So yeah, I really latched on to a lot of the benefits of thrifting very rapidly. I started to see all of the great side effects of thrifting. That being said, thrifting for clothes is a completely different ordeal. And that's kind of what Julia and I were talking about last week. Besides the obvious benefits for your pocketbook, thrifting is really wonderful for the environment because we're taking items that would have otherwise been put in the landfill and using them again. When I first started thrifting for clothes, it took a whole new mindset. It wasn't as easy to just cut to the side of the store and grab a couple of measuring cups or to go in looking for a certain chair, which in and of itself can be overwhelming. Suddenly, I was sorting through essentially the most disorganized part of the store, other than like the frames section, it seems like. And that was really challenging for me because it was just overwhelming and it was a lot to process. So for those of you out there that are like me, I have a couple different steps that can get you moving in a direction where thrifting can become something that's enjoyable and at least accessible for you. I think the first step to enjoying thrifting, for clothes at least, is something that starts way before you even walk in the doors, and that is to know your closet. This is actually a really valuable thing for buying clothes in general, especially from a sustainable mindset, but it also helps to cement self-identity, and we can talk about that in a different episode. But when I say know your closet, I mean actually intimately know what's in your closet. In some senses, it is really important to know what your personal style is, but that's something that's a really big picture. And like I said, that's an entire episode in and of itself. All that I'm asking you to do is actually know like what is in your closet. Have kind of a running inventory going in your head of the different blouses you have, the different dresses, jeans. And what you may be thinking at this point is, oh my gosh, I have way too much stuff to do that. Well, I would say with love that that's kind of an indicator of an issue. I definitely used to be at that point. And what that actually was is a reflection of the fact that my closet was too big and it was out of control, and I had a lot of pieces that I didn't even wear and hadn't looked at for months or even years. So if this first task for you to know your closet is intimidating, I would say that's a sign to sit down and go through your closet. Spend some time sorting out your closet, figuring out what you like and don't like. The second part of knowing your closet is knowing your personal style. And like I said, that is a huge thing, and that's a completely different topic. But I would just challenge you to just have an idea of what your closet is in the big picture. And I mean that by saying what your favorite pieces in your closet say about you, say about your personal style. What does that sweater that you wear at least twice a week say about your personal style? What about the blouse that you wear at least 2 or 3 times a month? Those pieces that you wear often, that makes up your personal style. So understand what that is currently and understand where you might want to be going if you want to make a transition into a different style or to really settle down into the place where you're at and eliminate some of the weird outlying pieces that you have. Understand where you're at in that journey. And then also, I would say understand the colors and the cuts of the different blouses, dresses, and jeans that you have, and especially understand what they pair well with. So understand the pieces in your wardrobe that are really versatile and know how they can pair with whatever you might buy. Finally, in knowing your closet, I would say know your accessories. And I would actually say that an important thing to do in buying accessories is to buy accessories that go with a lot of things. I am well known for the comment that black goes with everything. So I'm very inclined to buy black accessories, black shoes, black purses, and I love gold, so a lot of my jewelry is gold, and that's easy for me. But having a good handle on your accessories will help you to understand if the item that you're looking at will fit well into your closet. Okay, so first step, know your closet. Know what's in your closet. Second step, kind of a similar idea, know what looks good on you. But the problem is, right now at least, that might not be true about knowing your closet. It might be that 75% of the stuff in your closet you actually don't feel good in or look good in. I think it's important to know what cuts and necklines you look good and feel good in. That can be for dresses, for blouses, bras, anything like that. And what I mean when I say know what you look good in, I really mean know what you feel like you look good in. For instance, some people would say that I look good in really tight-fitting black shirts. But my argument would be that, I have a rib bone that kind of sticks out weird. And even if other people think that I look good, I don't feel like I look good in that cut of blouse. So I shouldn't buy it, because if I can't wear it confidently on the street feeling like I look good, then it's not going to be enjoyable and it will never make it out of my closet. The other thing that I would really recommend is know what size you are. So a lot of people, realistically, actually are different sizes in their shirts than they are in their jeans than they are in dresses. And understanding kind of where you sit in the different cuts in your sizes is really important. I'm going to really quick give an example of how my sizing fluctuates in different things just to illustrate, but if sizing is a trigger for you, and if you just are not sitting well with hearing other people's sizes right now, I totally understand. I can be like that sometimes. Just plug your ears for a couple seconds, I'll be done. But as a side note, size just does not define value of beauty, and it just doesn't matter if you're a 3X or a 12 or a 2. We all know here, all bodies have the potential to be beautiful and stylishly dressed. Okay, that being said, just to kind of illustrate how sizes fluctuate, I would say that most of the time, like I can be either a 6 or a 4 in jeans, but I've been known to be a 2 sometimes. So occasionally, if it's like a boyfriend cut, but maybe I want it to fit tighter, I will buy a 2. Or sometimes in a blouse, I'll be an extra small if it's super flowy, but I want it to fit a little tighter. Most of the time I'll be a small. Sometimes though I have pretty broad shoulders, so in certain blouses, especially ones that don't have much give, I might actually need a medium. In dresses, I've been known to be anywhere between a 0 to a 6, and that's a huge fluctuation. But again, it depends on the type of dress, how it's going to sit on my body, if it's going to be super loose in the chest or loose in the waist. It's really important to understand that sizing can fluctuate, but knowing kind of the range that you're at is important when you're going into a thrift store so that you can just immediately eliminate whole sections, and that is so helpful. So, to just recap, the second step, just know what you feel like you look good in. Know what you feel comfortable in. Finally, before you even walk in the door, have an objective, have a goal. Not only does this help me personally to feel way less overwhelmed, but honestly, it helps me to buy only what I need. So I don't go in thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get this blouse and these jeans, and oh, that's a really cute dress. If I go in saying I only need a turtleneck, then I won't even bother to go into the jean section. I won't even bother to go into the dress section and risk buying stuff that I don't need. I'll go in for what I'm looking for, and I'll come back out exactly with what I wanted. Having a clear objective and goal can be really wonderful, especially if you have almost a mental image of what you want. So I'll go in usually, I'll have an idea of the color of blouse I want. I will have an idea of the length, the size, and the cut. So those 4 things, the color, the length, the size, and the cut, are really, really important. So before you walk in the door, you need to know your closet, know what looks good on you, know how your sizes sit, and then have an objective and a goal, an item that you're looking for. Before I tell you what we should do once we walk through the thrift store doors, I'm going to take a really quick break to thank our sponsors. So I love reading, but honestly, I am just so busy that it's really hard to find the time for reading, especially because when I do actually have the time, it just feels like I'm reading my textbooks. While I try to keep multitasking usually at a minimum, listening to audiobooks has been a great way for me not only to engage, obviously, in storylines that I love, but also actually to learn. Audible has great books on meditation, guided meditations, and some awesome books on sustainable living, like Zero Waste Home by B. Johnson. Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering you guys a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/stylish and sustainable and browse the awesome selection of audiobooks. Download a title free and start listening. It's super easy, guys. Again, it's audibletrial.com/stylish and sustainable to get started today. All right, now that we're back, the next step is walking through the doors. What do? I go straight to the row that I think the item I'm looking for is going to be in. Earlier, we used the example of a turtleneck, and I think we'll just go with that. I am a huge fan of a well-fitting black turtleneck. I think it does wonders for a closet. It's a great basic. So if that's what I'm looking for, I will know that I want a turtleneck, so that's probably going to be in the knit section. I know my size, and then I know I want it to be black. Knowing the color of what you're looking for is great because it's an easy way to just almost scroll through the rows super fast, having just that idea that you're going to stop when you see something of the color that you want. So for me, if I'm looking for a black turtleneck, if I see something in the knit section that looks like a turtleneck and it's black, I'll stop. If it's pink or purple or blue, I won't because that's not the color I want. It allows me to go a lot faster down the row if I know exactly the color. If you can't settle on a color, then at least have a cut in mind. Usually as you're moving down the row, you can see what the neckline and the sleeve length is going to be, and that can be another great marker to help you just go quickly down the rows, find what you're looking for. I always just start at the top of the row and make my way down and then come back the next side. So that is, I would say, the fourth step. Go straight to the row you think the item would be in and use your markers, whether that's color or cut, to move through the row, just stopping when you see whatever you're looking for as far as color or cut. Once you've found the item, this is going to be step 5, know how to look carefully for signs of wear. So it's the worst when you walk in, you find something, you're like, I love this. You grab it right off the thing, you buy it, you get home, you put it on, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's horrible pit stains on this. I will never be able to wear this. So know the places where wear occurs. For blouses, definitely pit stains. That's a huge thing. Food stains around the neckline or just around the chest area usually is where food will drop if people are eating it. Tears, that can be another issue along the hemlines, underneath the arms. Sometimes there can be snags on the back hem. Just knowing those places where different issues will occur. Also know, though, what your cutoff is for signs of wear. For example, I have a black peplum blouse that I wear all the time, but I bought it used, and it has a really tiny tear in the top right shoulder. It's so small that it looks like it's just a piece of white fuzz on my shoulder. For me, that doesn't matter, and I definitely could just hand sew up that tear, but I haven't even bothered because it's so tiny that you really have to be looking to find it. So know what your cutoff is. Also, if you're buying things like jeans, and if there's like a food stain halfway down the thigh, you can always just distress that out at home if you really love the cut and the fit of those jeans. So know all of your different tools that you have in your back pocket, whether you're able to sew or if you know how to distress things at home, to make a different item that you might love fit better into your closet even if there is a stain in it. So just know what your cutoff is for signs of wear and understand kind of where to look. So that would be underneath the armpits, on the front, and then on the back hem is usually where I find snags or things like that from people getting their shirts stuck on things. Finally, when you have the item in your hand, step 6, do kind of a mental check of your closet and imagine wearing that item with at least 5 other pieces you already own. So for instance, if I have that black turtleneck, I could wear that with a jean skirt that I have. I could wear it with a couple different jeans that I have. It would look really good with black open-toe heels or just with sneakers. And I could also probably actually wear it with some linen pants that I have. So just having an idea of all of the different pieces that you already own that fit with that item is a really great step to avoiding buying more in the future. Because if you buy something just because you love it, but it actually doesn't go with anything in your closet, you're going to have to invest later on down the line in another piece to make it work. And then that's just not worth it, right? Then your closet's just growing and that's not fun. So that's why most of the time I'm a huge fan of basics, so plain solid colors, but it's also fun to have an embroidered blouse or dress or a cute pair of distressed jeans once in a while. Just know that it's important that it fits in your closet because you're probably not just going to wear that one clothing item with underwear or a bra. You got to have something else that fits with it, and it's important for it to fit into already what you own, or else it's kind of defeating the purpose, right? So let's go back to the beginning and I'll just break it down super easy. First, before you walk in the door, you're going to do 3 things. Know what's in your closet. Spend some time hanging out in your closet, sorting out the stuff that doesn't serve you, understanding what you wear a lot. 2, know what looks good on you. Know what your favorite necklines are, know the sizes that you sit around, and know what colors you like. 3, have an objective and a goal. Know exactly what you want, the color, length, size, and cut before you walk in that door. Now, once you get in the door, go straight to the row you think the item would be in. Use your marker, whether you are looking for a specific neckline, cut, or color, and just start running down that row looking for that. Only stop if you see something that looks like it could be what you're looking for. Then the next step, once you found your item, know where to look for the nasty signs of wear. So pit stains, food stains, and also keep in mind how you could move around that. So if you could add a cute little patch or something like that, just check before you go to the register. And finally, before you pay, do a mental review of your closet. Make sure that that item can be worn with at least 5 different other items that you currently own. And then you'll be all set. I hope that this episode has helped you guys feel more confident about thrifting. I was so intimidated by thrifting when I first started, and coming to understand this as kind of a very easy task list really has helped me to feel more confident about going into a thrift store. It also helps to go in and get out really quickly. So if you're intimidated by the amount of stuff, or if you don't like the smell, or just the other people, this can be a really great way to just get in, get out, but still buy sustainably and save money, which is a wonderful thing. You guys rock. I'm so excited. Next week, we're going to be talking with a lovely gal from Britain about a magazine completely devoted to living sustainably called Switch Magazine. We're going to be talking about how to get your hands on a copy and about how Switch came about. You guys are going to love it. You are so wonderful. Thank you so much for spending time with me. If you have any questions about thrifting, just DM me at the Instagram account at Stylish and Sustainable, or you can message me at our website, livestylishandsustainable.com. If you're listening on Spotify, be sure to follow, and if you're on iTunes, be sure to subscribe. And again, if thrifting is something that's overwhelming for you, just hop back to last week's episode to Julia Landry and I talking about A Curated Thrift, and you can find an easy way to subscribe to a company that will just thrift for you and find exactly what you want, so you never have to step your little feet into a thrift store. I love it, guys. You guys have a wonderful week. Good vibes your way.